You are listening to the B.I.G show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
Yes, sir.
The B.I.G show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It is the big show.
You think Diddy is doing the Harlem Shake in jail right now? I know James broke it out. Take that.
I'm Calvin. the remix over there is Garland. And we are back. It's only been a few days since our last podcast. Yeah. You know, we did a Saturday last time, so we're back on the Wednesday. It's a little early for us too. Mm-hmm. We in the little 5:30 range. We usually an hour and a half later than that. We're live on YouTube right now. We're on all your podcast platforms. If you have Spotify, you can watch it when we drop it, and you can watch Garland Harlem Shake around there. Let's call it the Garland Shake. Garland Shake it.
I'm like a battery. I'm like a battery powered toy with only one good battery in it. The other one is kind of crusted over and is dead. My little Harlem. It's not quite shaking like you should be shaking.
The Harlem jiggle.
Yes, Harlem jiggle. All right.
What else you got going on, Garland?
Man, it's cold outside today. It's winter. You know, we're coming up on the holiday season starting next week and all. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's been a good little slide into the end of the year. You know, it just seemed like the other day it was like August and it was real hot, and you know, we had a lot of daylight, and then, you know, the clocks changed, and now it is midnight at 4:00.
Wow.
You know, wild times. You know, it's like it's dark at 6 and then it's dark again at 3:30. And so, well, hey, you know, it's amazing. When we were younger, I ain't never think about daylight saving times like that. I just roll with the punches, like, okay, you know, but now it's like, oh my God, this is depressing.
You had to be in at a certain time. Like,
right. Why wasn't nobody out around this time of the year? Ain't nobody outside. Nobody outside. But knuckleheads and people who parents was abusing them, so they had to go outside.
Well, damn. Damn, Garland.
I'm sorry. You know those was the only ones that was outside. You were in the house.
God damn.
Oh my God, my wife just walked in. So honey, we're recording early, so you'll be happy. We won't have to go out late. So we'll be you know, going out in a timely manner.
What up, Paula?
Hey.
How you doing?
Honey, we were professionals. You can't be hey-haying in the mic.
Hey.
Oh God.
What's up, yo?
Hey.
Oh Lord.
Hey.
Right. Like, this is what's happening. I know I'm big, but I'm not rerun. Hi. Like the Doobie Brothers, taking it to the street. But a tape recorder dropped out my quarter vest zipper. Taking it to the Oh man.
First of all, what's happening was the show, man. Like,
it was.
Anyway, I ain't gonna get into that. It was the show.
Did you know that what's happening was originally based on Cooley High?
I did know that.
You did know that? Yes, they were going to make Cooley High into a TV series, and I don't think it tested well. So they changed it around a little bit and came up with what's happening.
Yeah, I did know that.
Oh, okay. Little trivial stuff. So when they break that out at the next little Trivial Pursuit, you got the answer. Courtesy of Angry Sports Guy. Man, let's go and get into it. Let's start right on off. Jump into it. Calvin's cousin and doppelganger, University of Maryland. They retained Mike Locksley, and University of Maryland head coach Mike Locksley will continue as head coach in 2026, and the school plans to significantly increase financial support to the program, said athletic director Jim Smith. We are working to strengthen our NIL support for 2026 and beyond, and have already seen success for next year. That must not be on the field, Smith said in a statement for the media and fans. We are prioritizing roster retention, recruiting, and competing in the transfer portal. Locksley is in his 8th season with the Terps. They're currently 4-6, and they've lost 6 straight games. Maryland went 4-8 last season after winning bowl games in 3 consecutive seasons, which marks the longest such streak in program history. Overall, Locksley is 37-47 in 8 seasons at Maryland. He went 1-8 in the league play last year in the Big Ten, and he's 1-6 this year. They'll probably end up 1-8 as well in league. It would have cost University of Maryland more than $13 million to fire Locksley, according to his contract. And so, Calvin, let me ask you this. Was this the right move by the University of Maryland?
It's the right financial move by the University of Maryland. Now, let's just get to the Mike Locksley is not DJ Durkin. At least he did win.
DJ Durkin killed somebody. He killed that young man.
No, he did.
Yes, he did.
I know he did. I know he did. I know he did.
He's not DJ Durkin.
He's not DJ Durkin.
Thank God.
But Mike Locksley did win 3 straight bowl games, which is an accomplishment for a school like Maryland. Maryland is a second-tier school. It's not a Division II, but, you know, when you think about it, second-tier school and could be a third-tier school in Division I. So it's the right financial move because they're on the hook for that. I believe it's $14 million that he makes. They're on the hook for that unless he gets another job and then they pay the difference. But nobody's going to hire Locksley as a head coach. He might get an assistant's job, but what do assistants make? A few $1 million. So Maryland would have been on the hook for, let's say, anywhere from $8 to $10 million. They'd have been on the hook for it. So it's the right financial decision. You got to stick with him. You put some more money in the NIL program. Maybe he can get a few more players and you can do better. And then when his contract is up, you can move on to someone else. Now, because you're not getting the James Franklins, you're not getting the what's the guy that's in the
Brian Kelly,
but the guy Lane Kiffin. You're not getting the Lane Kiffin.
Oh, you're not going to get Lane Kiffin.
You're not getting the names like that when you're a Maryland program. So you're going to have to get possibly another coordinator or something like that. So you might as well just stick with Locksley for I don't know how many more years he has on it, but it's the right financial move.
I think Maryland, it's just 2 more years on it. To me, this proves that the program is broke because they couldn't even afford to pay a $13 million buyout. I mean, anytime you got LSU who's willing to cut the coach, and I know they've been trying to renegotiate that buyout, but still they had confidence enough that even if he did not find another job and they had to pay the full buyout, they could. Same with Penn State. And so I think for me, I think they should have moved on because I think this makes Locksley really a lame duck coach. Essentially,
yes.
If they start off the same way next season that they started off this season, winning the first couple of games against cupcakes, and then they go into the rough portion of the schedule and they begin to lose all the games after that, I don't think he makes it through the end of next year. And you're going to have to fight for players every year anyway. And so this whole thing about retention and all those things, bringing him back does not guarantee that Malik Thompson and Malik Washington and these other players are going to come back. I know he's been recruiting well and they got another good class coming in, but I think this would have been a great time to start over and you go out and you get a name coach that could possibly keep those players and attract others through the portal. I mean, if you are a portal guy and you're good, is Maryland really at the top of your list? I mean, I think you said they're a second-tier college team, and I think they could be
second or third tier.
Yeah, second or third tier. I think they could be very good at that. But now, you got people looking at Indiana. We said this last week. You got people looking at IU. You got people looking at UVA. I'm like, okay, they can win there. How come we can't win here? And we got just as much resources. We're in a prime location, recruiting space, and all of those things. We play in a great conference, but they just haven't been able to do it. And so I thought that there were some coaches out there that they could attract and maybe retain some players, but they don't have the money. And so you got to do what you got to do. Locksley, they're giving him a second chance, but I think he's on a super short lease. If this team does not break out and make a bowl game, or if they start off similar to this year, next year, I don't think he lasts throughout the season. But they had to do what they had to do because they could not afford to buy the coach out. And it's ironic, the guy that I was lobbying for the Maryland job, he was just hired by Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech has hired James Franklin to be its next head coach. Franklin was originally owned $49 million in a buyout after being fired by Penn State back in October. But part of his deal with the Hokies includes a $9 million settlement from the Nittany Lions. Franklin went 128-60 over 12 seasons at Penn State and 3 at Vanderbilt. He brings a resume that includes winning more than 68% of his games and an appearance in the 2024 college football playoff semifinals and a Big Ten championship in 2016. Is this a great hire for Virginia Tech? Is this going to put them on the map or bring them back to the map? Because they had some glory days when they had Frank Beamer and Michael Vick and Michael Vick's brother, and they had a couple other good teams there as well.
Yeah, I think it is. James Franklin is actually a good Mid-Atlantic recruiter, so it'll definitely help. And Virginia Tech is one of those college towns where, as good as Maryland is as a school, it's not. College Park isn't really the quintessential college town. It's just kind of in between, Baltimore, DC, that PG County area, like next to Greenbelt. But Virginia Tech is like West Virginia, like Penn State. They are college towns. Yeah. I think he should do well there. At least recruit well. We'll absolutely see. And then, like we've talked about before with the NIL, the way it's opened up all these schools now, he should not really have a problem getting players there at all. He might even bring some players that he recruited to Penn State with him.
Yeah, I thought that's why people saying, well, he's not going to take Maryland because, Maryland didn't give him the job when he was coaching Wading. But the college president was there at Maryland when that happened is not there. The AD who denied the deal and, told Franklin to walk is not there. And money always talks. I mean, they haven't really released anything in terms of how much he's going to be making there, but I'm sure it's going to be a good amount of money. And like you said, he recruits that area well. He recruited it well when he was at Maryland as an assistant. He's recruited very well as the Penn State head coach, and he did well in the area when he was at Vanderbilt. I thought it was an obvious thing. I mean, that's why I'm really kind of like, I wish Maryland would have took a run at him to at least see what they could get, because you got good players there. I think Malik Washington stays there if you get Franklin, and I think he pulls other good players because it's a guy that's proven he's at least won, but he didn't win enough at Penn State, and that's why they got rid of him. All right. Aaron Rodgers will not need surgery to repair a fracture to his left non-throwing wrist, Coach Mike Tomlin said yesterday. Tomlin did not rule the quarterback out for Sunday's game at the Chicago Bears, and the veteran's status will be determined later in the week. Now, what impact do you think Rodgers' injury will have going into the remaining part of the season?
I mean, it's hard to tell. Players play with injury. I know he's older. He may not want to play with an injury, but it is his non-throwing hand. So they'll probably do something to wrap it up. But I think the biggest deal is Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago Bears, and he wants to play in Chicago. Do they still even play in Soldier Field? Whatever field they play in.
They had renovated Soldier Field. Okay. Just made it bigger.
So he wants to play there. He could be in a wheelchair and would figure out a way to play in Soldier Field. He wants to go back there and play. So yeah, this isn't anything new, and it remains to be seen if it has any impact. And as Baltimore fans, we don't mind if he has to sit out the remainder of the season or the next 5 or 6 weeks. We don't mind at all. So go ahead, get fuck that second opinion, Aaron. Go heal yourself, brother.
Right.
Go heal yourself.
Man, although Mason Rudolph, he played well in relief last week, but it was against the Bengals, the worst defense in the league. And they were already struggling offensively. And so I don't think this makes them any more dynamic or dangerous with Rudolph playing. And I think Rodgers has struggled. Yeah, I would probably love to see him out there on the struggle bus. This is going to be a big test for the Bears. I mean, the Bears right now, if the playoffs started today, they would be a low seed in the playoffs. They got a good stretch of teams that they're playing. Is this really going to prove if they are ready for prime time? And so, a big game Sunday coming up for them. It is at home. They're coming off of a big win against Minnesota last week, and so we'll see what happens. Steelers are definitely going to show up at least offensively. Your boy Juicy Mouth out here, man. He out here spitting on people. Your boy got a slobber problem. Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase has been suspended 1 game without pay for spitting on Steelers defensive back Jalen Ramsey. The league announced on Monday. Chase is appealing the suspension. If the suspension is upheld, he would miss his team's upcoming game against the New England Patriots in Week 12. The incident occurred in Cincinnati's 34-12 loss to the Steelers on Sunday. Video showed Chase clearly spitting in Ramsey's direction, which prompted Ramsey to throw a punch at Chase. The suspension would cost Chase his weekly paycheck of $448,333, along with a $58,000 per game active bonus he would be forfeiting. Do you think Chase should have been suspended longer?
You know I damn well think he should have at least been suspended through the Thanksgiving game in Baltimore. We don't want to see his.
Why can't he get 2 games?
Exactly. We don't want to see his Juice Crew All-Star ass out in Baltimore anywhere. As a matter of fact, it's so funny. So you mentioned the appeal. The appeal was actually today, and it was upheld for the 1 game suspension. But I'm thinking just like a lot of the appeals, he was appealing it, so they were going to take a week to go through the appeal process, and then when they uphold it, it would be the Thanksgiving game. But no, in the land of fair and speedy trials, they did that shit within 2 days.
Come on now,
motherfuckers, y'all can manipulate the fucking processes any other time.
I need y'all to go ahead and let him play this week, and then he had to sit out next week and go to New York.
Let that appeal ride. People out of town and shit, then come back on Monday and be like, yeah, we're going to uphold it so you can't play on Thanksgiving in Baltimore. The fucking bitches.
Yeah, so he'll be playing. I mean, basically, if they lose Sunday, and I believe, let me see who they play.
They're playing the Patriots.
They're playing the Patriots. Oh, that's right. I already said that. Yeah. So they lose Sunday. Is their season essentially over?
Basically the season is over now. That losing that game to Pittsburgh and losing the game to Chicago pretty much sealed their fate. But the way numbers work, they still have it outside shot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if Joe Burrow preparing to come back, if they win Sunday, I do believe Baltimore will see Joe Burrow on Thanksgiving being his first action back. So yeah, but if they lose to the Patriots, which they should, it's definitely going to hurt to not have Jamar Chase in that game against New England, because now it puts Christian Gonzalez, their number 1 cornerback, and actually one of the better cornerbacks in the league. It puts him on T. Higgins, and he's been shutting down people. Their number 2 is Andre Isavest, I believe. He's definitely not on their level. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, I'm thinking they're going to lose this game. He's really hurt his team, really hurt Joe Burrow's comeback, but it could be a blessing in disguise for a guy like Joe Burrow, who has an injury history. Your best ability is availability, and since their Super Bowl run, he ain't really been available.
I agree with you. They lose Sunday, season's over. I think I said it last week. If they do lose, I don't know if we see Burrow or not. It's nothing really to pay for.
We really shouldn't. Yeah,
you're just out here doing upsets. You're just really playing to ruin some people's playoff chances. But mathematically they're still there. But their defense is just horrible. And to think that Flacco really saved them offensively, and they should have won at least. Flacco's been there 4 games. They at least should have won 3 of them. And
they should have won the Jets game,
Bears game.
Yep.
And they did win the Steelers game. Okay, and then they just lost the second Steelers game. So, yeah. So we're going to talk about playoff seedings and who's in and who's not a little later on. Let me tell you something about the Hurricane. You seen the movie Hurricane with Denzel. Let me tell you about the Hurricane. Well, the Ravens, that's their theme song on Sunday. They did the Hurricane on the Browns. And so off of a play aptly called Hurricane, Mark Andrews took the snap on what looked like a tush push and instead spun to the outside for a 35-yard touchdown run. I was screaming all the way, which proved to be the winning score in the Ravens' 26-13 comeback win over the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. And so let's jump into the offense, Calvin. It was a very, very, very lackluster, underperforming day for the offense. Lamar was 14 for 25 for 193 yards, 2 interceptions. I wouldn't necessarily say they were his fault. One was off the hand of Keaton Mitchell, and the other was off the head of Rodgers. Rose Garden as he's blocking after getting a turnover, and they, were in the red zone. That was a big turnover that really could have destroyed the game for them. King Henry, he rushed for 108 yards. I really thought this was maybe one of his best game outside of the first game against Buffalo. I think this was maybe his best game. I know he got 100+ yards against Miami, but I think he had more sustained runs in this game. He rushed for 108 yards and 1 touchdown, and Zay Flowers had 3 receptions for 78 yards. The team is still having problems in the red zone, though. They were only 1 for 4 in terms of scoring touchdowns in the red zone and had to settle for 3 field goals by Tyler Luke. On Monday, your boy John Harbaugh, he said that he is pleased with the performance of the offensive line. I mean, Calvin, don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me. Don't believe my lying eyes. But John Harbaugh, the head coach, said he's pleased with the performance of the offensive line, but they need to do better in the red zone. No shit, Sherlock. We can see that. Now, does merely changing out players fix the problem, or is it the play calling as well in the red zone?
So at this point, it feels like it's a little bit of both. Let me back up. It feels like it's a lot of both. Everyone can see, even the opposing teams can see that our guards are trash. And I hate to say that, because if you're in the league, if you're a professional athlete, then reality is you're not trash, but you're not playing up to the level that we would expect or want you to play. Not only that, we continue to call the same plays every game. Not
dive
working.
You had the option dive, then you have the rollout to the right.
It just doesn't work.
And then you have the Zay cutting across.
And let's just look at the Hurricane. See what happens when you put a wrinkle in the play and the teams aren't expecting it. Like, they were not ready for that. Shout out to Pat Ricard that got out on that end and blocked
Charlie
that
Kohler.
Corner.
He got out there.
That's what I meant. I meant Kohler. Got out on that end and blocked that cornerback, and helped spring Mark, because it was a wrinkle to a play. And even if you notice, they look like they were running the play from Minnesota where he pitched the ball to Lamar, because Lamar went out, and they were even ready for that. They study the Ravens because we do the same thing over and over. So it's both. You got to do something with the line. Now, I'm going to say this. I think they pass block a lot better than they run block, which isn't saying much. But in the past couple games, Lamar has had some time to throw the ball. Now, we know Myles Garrett got his sacks, but he got his sacks because Lamar was holding on to the ball.
Sure.
You can only hold on to the ball if your line is holding up. Now, granted, they were given, they've eventually let Myles go, but I think he sacked them when I read it. I think it was, he didn't sack anything outside of 5 seconds. I think Lamar was holding that ball 5 seconds, which means that the offensive line was pass blocking as well as they could. He just had to get rid of the ball, and he did. So I think they pass block a little better, which again isn't saying a whole lot, because he's he's always on the run. But the run blocking is really causing Derrick Henry to look a lot pedestrian in between the tackles. It looks like you can only run when they're going on the outside, when they're pitching it outside, but anything inside is just not working.
Not working at all. I think, there's no player to change to, first of all. If Ben Cleveland was better than Daniel Falale, he would be starting at right guard right now. And that's not the case. He cannot beat out Falale, period. And I think we have to accept that. There is no other offensive lineman there. And the guy that they drafted, he's injured. There's no telling if he's going to play this year because he's still working through injury. And so I don't think there's any saviors that are sitting on the sidelines for the Ravens that would come in and drastically improve the offensive line play. But I do believe that they have to get more creative inside the five, inside the red zone. We're not saying it. Like you said, they line up. I can tell you what play is. The first play is going to be the dive. The second play is going to be the rollout. And the third play is going to be that Zay power sweep thing that they try to do, or they're going to try to go inside again. And they're not going to be able to do something, or they're going to try to pass and get Lamar to roll out again.
Oh my God. Yeah. I hate that. I literally hate when they cut off half the field. I can't.
It just does not work. And so I would like to see them be a little bit more creative, not a little bit more creative in the red zone. You're not going to go far in the playoffs. If this team makes the playoffs, you're not going to go far getting inside the five like that. Now, let's give the Browns some credit. This is one of the top defenses in the league. They have the top pass rusher in the league. They play very well against the Ravens. I mean, I know the Ravens put up 41 in the first game. A couple of those, came off of the turnover battle that we won, and we had a fumble return for a touchdown, all those things. And so, they were playing on emotion and, trying to get an upset. And I think they always game plan well against the Ravens. But you can't do that when you get into the playoffs where you get down there and you're just kicking field goals. Field goals. This is not the 2000 defense that we have. We're not going to win games on field goals alone.
It's one of them where when you're watching the plays, so when Derrick Henry's breaking free and he gets tackled in the red zone, you're just like,
bro.
Like you gotta score. You gotta score.
Right.
When Zay's getting his run and breaking, you gotta score. You're yelling, you gotta score.
I'm yelling, you gotta score.
You gotta score. Or stop at the 21. Right. Just stop at the 21.
Stop outside of the 20. Yeah, when Henry broke that long run, I'm like, score. But he looked like he might need a little oil change. He looked like last year he gone. That's a touchdown last year.
That's a touchdown.
Now,
last year. I'm gonna say this. Because it's just like with any other sport, you approach it with angles. He looked like he was gone and he got ran down. But there was an angle.
Yeah.
The
cornerback had the
angle. He had the angle and he caued him. But I'm with you. I was looking at it too, like, he's starting to break that. He's starting to transform.
Look like the transmission was slipping. Like
that was like he probably like, man, fuck y'all.
Right.
Fuck y'all. I'm over 30 years old. This the last half of the season and shit. Fuck y'all. Score. Y'all niggas can't score.
Like a little oil was on the field, a little transmission fluid was on the field. He was sputtering out a little bit.
He was, man. I didn't even go right. He probably saw that opening and was like, shit.
Right.
I gotta run on. Listen, one time, let me tell you, because I play softball. There was one night we was out Druid Hill Park, and I was just hitting opposite to the right side, and I was just trying to get a base hit. But the right fielder, this was at the Snake House. He kept missing the ball. So the ball was going by. I had to keep running. I was like, catch the fucking ball. All you gotta do is pick it up and hold me at first. I swear it was 3 times in a row. I was so fucking mad. I was like, catch. Listen, it's hit on the ground. Pick that motherfucker up. But hold on. Katina hit bombs. Katina would hit, and it would be a clear home run. She would round second, and we'd be like, go. She would stop at third and be like, can none of these bitches hit me in? Like, the fuck?
Bro.
Like, doing all that running and shit on a regular league night? Kiss my ass.
I think it was my first year playing for the Grays. I made it to second base, and they kept on hitting stuff to the outfield where I could score from second, and it took me so long. You was yelling like, "Golly, why are you so slow?" I was like so mad, like, yo, I just want to go station to station. I do not want to go second to home.
That's it. Listen, I'm pitching for you. I'm throwing strikes. That's my job. When any hit I get is a bonus and shit. If this motherfucker misses, I gotta keep running. The fuck?
So main man looked like he might need a little oil change. Check his spark plugs, because he definitely slowed down a little bit.
I knew right then and there. I was like, this Derrick Henry last year in the NFL.
Yes. We got all we could get last year.
He played. He was like, shit, we should have won the Super Bowl last year. Fuck y'all. Or if he continues to play, he gonna be the third down back. Keith Mitchell gonna be.
Keith Mitchell. We be talking about trying to get runs for him, trying to get plays for him.
And it's actually funny you said that. Keith Mitchell outsnapped Derrick Henry this last game. Yeah,
I thought Keith Mitchell played well outside of the interception, which I really did not fault him. I thought the pass was off. He tried to corral it, it hit the hands, it went up in the air. Things like that happen. And but I thought, in the other opportunities, he bounced right back. He had a couple other catches. He had a couple runs. I thought he played well. Let's talk about the defense a little bit. Zach Orr's defense rose to the occasion again this week, Calvin. Excuse me. They held the Browns offense to a total of 187 yards for the game. They held Dylan Gabriel, who started the game at quarterback, under 100 yards passing before he left the game with the concussion. And we got to see Coach Subprime's son, Coach Prime, Shador, get his chance. But it didn't fare much better for him. He went 4 for 16 for 47 yards, had 1 interception, and he was sacked twice. Any thoughts on Shador's debut and the performance of the defense?
Yeah, so let's start with the defense. The defense, so of course the score, they scored 16, but the defense only gave up 9, and 3 of those were on a short field from a turnover. So the defense really truly gave up 6 points on their own. The defense played extremely well, especially with the way they started off. It just looked like Keyshawn Judkins was going to run all over them all day that first series.
It did.
And they adjusted and stopped that. Even Tillman in that first series got a couple, got some. Jerry Jeudy got some in there, but the defense played extremely well. It was a major turnaround for them. It definitely helps that Kyle Hamilton is back to himself, back to his position rather. You got to see the new boy. He got some rushes in on the passes.
Kenyon Martin.
No. The from Tennessee.
Jones.
So they played extremely well. Then when you throw Shador Sanders in there, we were on the chat, and when Jason came was like, "Nah, Shador going," and I was like, "Nah, Shador ain't played with the starters." And all you got to do is blitz him. He ain't seen this before.
As soon as they started against a second team that doesn't have snaps,
exactly. As soon as they started blitzing him, it was all over. Now I will say we are a bend and don't break defense, but we came up big when it needed to. That pass that he threw in that end zone was a game time touchdown.
Yeah. Awuzie made a good play.
Does Marlon make that play? Because he was playing for Marlon Humphrey. Does Marlon make that play? Now let me say this about Marlon. We were giving Marlon a hard time beginning of the season. He has really stepped back up and improved his play in the last few games. So yeah, I'll say Marlon will make that play. But no, man, the defense stepped up strong.
You saw what they did to Marlon. They made him turn off the live on the airplane. It's like Lamar was like, "You ain't play. Turn that live off."
I see that.
Yeah, go. It's on social media.
I see that
live, and Charlie Cola was like, "Are you supposed to have your phone on the airplane?" And he's like, "Yeah, the coach told me to." And Lamar was like, "Turn that off because you ain't play."
Well, good for them. But nah, man, the defense, hey, Zach, whatever it was you did, very good. Yeah. And even if you want to call these past few games cupcake offenses, you still need to come out and play that way against these offenses, because if you know anything about the Ravens history, all of these games that we think we're supposed to win can be trap games. That Cleveland game last Sunday could have been a trap game, and the way it started off, it looked like it possibly may have been, but defense helped them pull it out. So shout out to the defense, man. Good for them.
Yeah, you know what?
And Shador gets to start this week. I just saw that before we got on.
He's starting on Sunday against the Raiders. Some people are trying to downgrade the performance of the defense over the last 3 weeks because they basically have been facing rookie quarterbacks. I mean, you faced two on Sunday with Gabriel and Shador. The week before that, J.J. McCarthy. This is his second season. He did not play in the first season, and I think that's probably was only his fifth or sixth game as a starter. And Tua is not all that great, and so they haven't played the upper echelon of quarterbacks. But I think the secondary has really showed up. I really love their play, and I think that releases them to blitz more, to come up with more exotic packages where they're just not depending on 4 or 3 people getting home to the quarterback. Now they're able to mix it up. I really think the play of Roquan has been stellar since he returned from the hamstring injury. I mean, he's been all over the field in pass coverage, making tackles. I think, they found a guy to play next to him in Buchanan. I think he's played very well. And like you said, I think with allowing Hamilton to be all over the field, I didn't like the penalty he picked up when he missed the interception. He's no Ed Reed with the hands. Now,
definitely not.
he everything that was thrown at Ed Reed, he caught it, but not Hamilton so much. And so that was an interception he probably should have had. It was thrown right to him, and he dropped it. This is the second one in Cleveland because last year he had about 2 interceptions that were thrown to him by Jameis, and he dropped those. And so, but overall,
almost lost the game. Well, no, helped lose the game. Helped lose the game because the very next play was the touchdown.
And next play was the touchdown. Him and Eddie Jackson dropping interceptions. And so, of course, they got rid of Eddie Jackson, but you don't get rid of Kyle Hamilton. Kyle ain't going nowhere. And so, overall, I thought it was great. Performance by the defense. I think they did what they needed to do. And I think, Shador's going to get his chance if he gets to run with the ones. And I think, it's just not a lot there. Jared Judy, he's very mid to low. You love the tight end Njoku, but
Njoku can play, but the Ravens play well against tight ends.
Yeah,
so him and Fannin, they didn't do much.
They didn't do much of anything. Jenkins is good, and so they're going to do a lot of play action with him, and I think it's a good game for him playing the Raiders because they're not that great defensively, and so we'll see what he's actually do this week.
He's going to see a strong blitz from Max Crosby, so that'll give him some more experience out there. A guy almost as good as his guy, almost as good as Myles Garrett.
Man, as Ronnie from Baltimore said, we did not lose to Deion's jizz, and so we just want to make sure we won that game. All right, man, while Shador was out there running around for his life, his house was robbed. Approximately $200,000 in property was stolen from his home during a break-in Sunday, according to police. 3 suspects entered his home and were seen exiting the property with property belonging to Sanders. And so we've been seeing a lot of these break-ins while people are at games, at premieres, they've been breaking into a lot of the actors' houses. I think Joe Burrow's house got broken into at some point last season during a game, and all of these particular things. And so, just hope everything turns out well for him. I'm sure he will be okay. And as you mentioned, he'll be starting Sunday on the road in Vegas. I'm sure they're going to be they're going to move that up to the game of the week, at least for the 1:00 game.
They're not going to make that. They're not making the Browns Raiders game.
Bro, they want them ratings.
They not.
Anytime the Chiefs play, they're not even talking about the Chiefs. They're talking about Taylor Swift. This is Taylor Swift on the field.
They got the Chiefs Colts game coming on Sunday. They are not making the rate.
The national game is going to be the Raiders and the Browns. Well, that's going to be a 4:00 game because it's going to be in Vegas. So
absolutely not.
They're going to make that. They're going to make that the game of the week.
Absolutely,
they're gonna move that mug to 425.
They absolutely are not.
Watch. And Sunday night.
That game might not even make the red zone. That score might tie at 0-0.
They're gonna put that on Sunday night. They're gonna
show red zone gonna show the opening kickoff and the second half kickoff, and that's gonna be it.
We putting this on Sunday night because they want them ratings.
They're not.
Half of Black America is going to be watching.
You think they're going to flex it? If anything, they're going to flex it.
That thing to
they're going to flex it off the schedule. They not.
But I'm telling you, they're going to flex it to Sunday night.
They absolutely are not.
Watch. Anyway. Let's talk a little bit about the Ravens and Jets, man. The Jets are coming into this game on Sunday. This will be the Ravens' first game at home in 3 weeks. They're coming in at 2-8, and they're coming off a mini bye after losing to the Patriots last Thursday. And so they have changed quarterbacks as well, benching Justin Fields for former Raven, Tyrod Taylor, or we call him Tyrod as Tyrod, as he said. It's Tyrod. It's not Tyrod. It's Tyrod. Tyrod Taylor. Breece Hall, he leads the team in rushing with 722 yards. Other than that, they're pretty nondescript. What do you think the keys to this game is going to be?
Just play your game, Baltimore. You just play your game. I don't think they're threatening. But a lot of us forget that before there was a Lamar Jackson, there was a Tyrod Taylor. We had a running quarterback. A lot of us forget that. He's traveled to so many teams.
My barber loved Tyrod Taylor. He said that they were messing up by not starting him over Flacco. He was supposed to be starting. No, it was Tony. It was Tony Smith. Was his name Tony Smith? I know his last name was Smith because he won the Heisman.
Oh, Troy Smith.
It was Troy Smith. He was like, yeah, it was politics why Flacco, black man, they took his job. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, man, just play your game. I really think it's a mistake for them to start Tyrod over starting Justin Fields, because if you remember, Justin Fields gives us a little bit of the blues because he's a running quarterback. Yeah, he gives us a little bit of the blues. I don't think Garrett Wilson is playing again this week. I think he's hurt, so that's their number one receiver. Remember, they also traded away Sauce Gardner. They traded away their lineman. Yeah, so their team coming in that should not beat the Ravens. We don't know what that means. That should not beat the Ravens. If the Ravens play like they've been playing, they should be fine. I just think that's the key. Just play like you've been playing. You don't have to do anything spectacular. You definitely want Lamar to look a little better behind in that pocket, but without a major pass rush of a Myles Garrett, I don't think he should have any problem with that. Just play your game, balance it out like you've been doing. The Ravens should win this game.
My key is start fast. Start fast. Put this game away early because you need to get ready for Thursday against Cincinnati. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so this don't need to be like last week's game where we're, fighting all the way up until in the last quarter, into the last couple minutes of the game. Put this game away early, break their spirit early. Therefore, you can start shuffling in players, getting people rest as you get ready for another game in 3 days. And
it would be great to have Lamar, Derrick Henry, and the boys be able to sit most of, not all of the fourth quarter. That would be great
fantastic. That would be fantastic. And so that, to me, that's the key. start fast, put them away early. Don't give them a chance to be in this game because you don't want them driving down with 2 minutes left in a game
Exactly.
that you need. And that's what I really want to see them do. Last week we said that our predictions was Calvin. You said that the Ravens would win 24-10. I said that they would win 21-10. So we were right around that. It was
Right around.
23-16. What is your prediction for this game?
Yeah, man. The Ravens are coming back home after a long stint out on the road. They coming back to the friendly confines of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Ravens opening up on the Jets, man. I got the
Mm-hmm.
Ravens. I want to say 35, but I'm going to say 28-7. I got the
28-7.
Ravens.
Okay. I like that. You know what? I'm gonna go one more touchdown further. I'll say 35-7.
Okay.
I think it's going to be good to be home. They've been on the road the last 3 weeks. I think they're going to come out fresh, renewed. They know that they got to be ready. Last year we were worried about them because they played on Sunday and then they turned around and played 2 or 3 days later on Christmas. They did very well. They blew both of those teams out, and so hopefully they come out and do the same thing for this upcoming week.
They're usually an extremely good primetime team. Of
Yeah.
course, that Monday night game this year against the Lions, they did not show that.
Right.
But the Thursday night game against Miami, they showed who they are.
They did.
They're
And even
very
the
good
Sunday night
primetime
game
team.
against the Bills, a game they should have
Exactly.
won.
Yeah.
We
They play
forget
very well primetime.
they put up 40 points in that game. They put up 40 points in that game. Okay. That seems so long ago. That seemed like it was last year, but they started off the season with a bomb, putting up 40 points. Okay.
They were the number one pick for the Super Bowl in the
Right.
first 3 quarters of that game.
Right. People were like, "Oh my God, this year is going to be crazy. They're going to run through everybody.
Ravens going to beat everybody."
Then the fourth quarter happened.
I should say the first 3.5 quarters because the Bills didn't start coming back to 4 or 5 minutes left.
Right. Anyway, all right. I'm sorry. Let's not go back. Hey man, let's talk about the playoff picture real quick before we get to Pigskin Pick'em. Of the teams that are currently in the playoff hunt, which team makes it into the tournament? Now, in the AFC, we got 3 teams on the outside looking in. You got the Chiefs, all of them at 5-5. You got the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Texans, all at 5-5 right now. They on the outside looking in. Out of these teams, which team do you think will make it into the playoffs?
Yeah, so I don't think the Texans are going to make it in. They've been dealing with so many injuries, and although the defense is strong, the offense has just not been clicking. The Chiefs have a hard road to come back, and it's hard to bet against them. Of course, I'm going to say our Ravens. I think the schedule dictates for them that they can do it, and the one thing they do have in their favor is that the destiny is right in their hands. The AFC North is exactly what they needed it to be. They control their destiny on that. They don't have to worry about anyone else. They only have to worry about anyone else, other teams, if they're fighting for a wild card, which the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs both have beaten us. So if we end up tied with them, then we're ass out right there. But we have the AFC North destiny in our hands. So I do think the Ravens going to make it. I don't think the Chiefs are going to make it, and I don't think the Texans are going to make it.
Oh wow! All right, you said it. Now let's look at the Chiefs' last several games. They have the Colts at home. Then they go to Dallas to play the Cowboys. They're at home against the Texans. They're at home against the Chargers. On the road against the Titans. At home against the Broncos, and they end the season with the Raiders. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those last 7 games are pretty tough. I mean, you need to get 10 wins. They're going to have to be perfect in these last 7 games to get it. I agree with you. I think this maybe is the season of transition. I know I said it a couple years ago. I think as you improve the coaching in the division, the teams get better. And I thought that, eventually those teams would catch up. So I agree with you on that one about the Chiefs. The Ravens, I think the Ravens they're going to have to go 5-7 these last couple weeks. And for me, I think they have to sweep the Bengals. They have to sweep the Bengals and split with the Steelers. I think going into that last Steeler game of the year, I want them to go in as division winners. And so I don't want anything to be up for grabs. That's going to be on the road. I don't want them playing whatever that song is they play up in Pittsburgh in the last quarter to get them fired up and all those things. And so um, the Bengals have split with the Steelers this season. And I think, both of them are going to sweep the Browns. But if we can get the Bengals both games and then split with the Steelers, I think that would give us at least advantage in terms of number of wins within the division that we can squeak it out. And so I do believe the Ravens' chances are there, but they can't lose any more than 2 games. They lose more than 2 games, they're done. They're going to be at home. I think the Texans is a little hard as well. If you give me a second, let me look up the Texans schedule real quick. They got some tough games. Of course, they're going to have the Chiefs because I just said that. They got the Colts, Chiefs, Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, and Colts again. So they play the Colts 2 times over the next several weeks. And so, yeah, it's going to be, both of these teams got some tough schedules. I think Pittsburgh really has one of the toughest schedules as well. I think that's why everyone is saying, kind of doubting them. They got the Bears, Bills, Ravens twice, Lions. And so that's
tough. It's a rough
tough,
road.
that's a rough road as well.
Now, let's say this about Pittsburgh. They won 2 games that they absolutely should not have won. They beat the Patriots. They beat the Colts. That's 2 games right there they shouldn't have won. Without those 2 wins, we would definitely be in sole possession of first place right now, and we'd be cruising right along to the AFC North. So you can't put it past Pittsburgh, but Bills, Lions 2 times against the Ravens. Even this Bears game, they got some tough sledding to go through.
Now in the NFC, we have Detroit and Carolina on the outside looking in. Do you think Detroit gets in?
Yeah, so we talked about the NFC North being probably the toughest division, or one of the top 2 toughest divisions in the league. With the Vikings have fallen off, with the Bears being strong, with the Packers just being up and down. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to see the Detroit Lions make it in there. However, well, yeah, man. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well,
what's their remaining schedule? Let me put it this way.
I don't think I picked them to win the division. We're gonna have to go back. Their schedule, they play. They got an easy game coming up on Sunday. They play the Giants. Then they have the Packers on Thanksgiving, of course. Cowboys after that. Rams, Steelers, Vikings, and Bears.
It's not too bad.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Now the Steelers game is on the 21st, and then they turn around 4 days later and play the Vikings on Christmas on Netflix. And so it's going to be kind of like a back-to-back turnover. Again, they're facing the same thing with the Ravens, but they always play on Thanksgiving. And so they got the Giants Sunday, and then they turn around on Thursday and play the Packers. Cowboys, Cowboys can light it up.
Cowboys can light it up if are they playing in Dallas?
They're playing in Dallas.
Yeah, see, the Cowboys can light it up at home. That's the thing I was looking.
I apologize. They're playing in Detroit.
Okay, because when you said the Chiefs were playing the Cowboys, but it was in Dallas, I was like, Cowboys can light it up at home. The Chiefs might be in trouble in that game. Like, Cowboys can really light it up at home.
Yeah, 3 of their last 4 on the road: Rams, Vikings, and Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, but
we'll
see. I mean, I think it's a fight right now for the division between Packers and the Bears, and I think
Bears, that's who you pick. You picked the Packers. I think you picked the Packers.
I picked the Packers because they got Micah. If you look at the Bears' last 7 games, you got Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, Niners, Lions. That's tough as well.
That's tough too. You know what? I'm gonna say Detroit gets in. I'm gonna say Detroit gets in. I'll say Detroit gets in.
Fantastic. And then Carolina.
Not Carolina.
No, Carolina is above 500 at 6-5. As a matter of fact, let me pull up Carolina's schedule real quick.
Even though Carolina beat Atlanta and fucked my parlay up.
Yeah, and messed up your boy Penix, who's out for the rest of the season.
Out for the rest of the season.
Again. Carolina has the Niners this week, Rams, Saints, Bucks twice, and the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't think Carolina's making it.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Let's go to Pigskin Pick'em, y'all. And somebody picked pretty good last week.
You got lucky. And I will say, not only did you get lucky,
you got lucky.
You got lucky because we would be tied up. We would be tied up. Now, I'm not even going to say lucky because if you watched any of that Lions-Eagles game, the Eagles their defense was all over the Lions offense. Jared Goff just didn't know what the fuck was going on. Dan Campbell kept going for it and I think he went for it like 5 times and didn't make any of them.
Thank you, Dan Campbell. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You did say you were going to take Philly at home. I thought the run game would carry them, and it did absolutely nothing. So
Dolphins, they got a win in overtime over the Moes. That was all these games came down to last minute kicks or scores. Rams and the Seahawks, the kicker on the Seahawks missed the last second field goal.
But I told you, I told you in that Seahawks game, I told you, what's his name? What's the quarterback?
Sam, not Bradford.
Donald. I told you Sam Donald was going to Donald. I told you he was going Donald.
He did
4 interceptions.
He did. He did. Hopefully he gets himself back together because that could mean the division for them, and they're right up there. They've been playing well all season.
No, he'll do well. The Rams defense is top notch. Rams have a top notch defense. He'll play well. Seattle will be there in the playoffs. They'll be there.
All right, so right now I still have a 2-game lead on Calvin, 23-21, but he's fast approaching. Let's see if the cream rises to the top this week.
I will.
I will talk about you, coffee. I'm talking about the coffee with the cream over here. All right, let's go ahead. Thursday night's game is the Bills versus the Texans. Texans home team. Who you taking?
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills as well. C.J. Stroud will be out again for the 3rd consecutive week. Hey, but Davis, I forgot. Oh no,
Davis Mills. Mills. No, it's Davis is his first name. Davis Mills.
Davis Mills won 2 games with them, and so they've been playing well defensively. You're not going to come in there and blow them out, but we'll see what the Bills will do after they struggle. Well, they didn't struggle on Sunday against the Bucks. They showed back up, but they struggled the week before that. Steelers, they're in Chicago to face the Bears. The Bears.
I got Chicago keeping that. They're back. Chicago's the same situation as Baltimore. They've been on the road a couple games. They're back home. I got Chicago winning.
I have the Bears winning as well. The Patriots, they head on to Cincinnati to get some Skyline chili, and then they're going to face the Bengals.
Yeah. Now this is a road game, which could be a trap game for them, but without Jamar Chase, I'm going to have to go ahead and go with the Patriots.
I'm going with the Patriots as well. Most improved team in the league. Giants, they head up to Detroit. What up, though, to face the Lions?
Yeah, Lions are in a win-now situation. They got to win, so I'm going to take the Lions.
I'm taking the Lions as well. Vikings, they head up to Green Bay to take on the Packers.
You know, you just never know what Packers team you're going to get. But J.J. McCarthy is just not the one. So I'm going to take the Packers at home.
All right. We might not have any differences this week. I'm taking the Packers as well. The Seahawks, they're looking to redeem themselves, and they're going to a good place to do it. They're heading to Tennessee to face the Titans.
Yeah. Whenever we bet against the Titans, though, they usually win or make it close. But not this time. I got Seattle.
No, I'm with you. Seattle takes that game going away. The Colts, they head out to KC, get some barbecue to face the Chiefs.
Now, this is going to be the game of the week. The Chiefs are in a situation where their back is against the wall, but the Colts are coming off of a bye week, and the Colts have weapons. I'm taking Indianapolis.
All right. You know what? I'm going to switch. I had the Colts. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Chiefs at home. They're desperate. They need some wins. We see what Andy Reid pulls out. Colts are not a great outside team. You know, they're an indoor team. See what happens with Danny Dimes in that game. The Browns in the game of the week that I said is the game of the week. They head to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Who you taking?
Yeah, the battle of the defenses. The Browns' defense is better. I'm going to go ahead and I don't even feel right saying it. But Ashton Genty won't be able to run against that line. Gino, I'm gonna take Cleveland. Oof.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna take the Raiders on this one.
You taking the battle of the black quarterbacks. You're not taking
for the black battle.
You're not taking Prime's offspring.
I'm not taking Prime's jizz.
You taking Gino?
I'm taking Gino in this one, only because they're home. The Jags, who blew out the Chargers. The Chargers, they just can't come to the East Coast and play. That's the Chargers' problem.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, they cannot play on the East Coast. The Jags, they head to Arizona to face the Cardinals.
The Jags are so
it's hard to read them. I mean, they blew out the Chargers last week, but the week before that, they struggled and they lost the game they should have won to the Texans.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go out on the limb. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cardinals. I think Jacoby Brissett is playing very well. I'm gonna take the Cardinals in this one.
All right, I'm gonna take the Jags on this one. Eagles, they head down to Jerry's World to take on the Cowboys.
Cowboys can put up some points at home. Eagles defense is strong. I think this is going to be probably the most exciting game of the week.
And the opening season game of this season, this was the Monday night game, or maybe it was the Sunday night. This was a very good game as well that the Eagles just sustained the win.
Yeah, I really want to take the Cowboys in this game. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm taking Philly.
Yeah, I'm taking Philly as well. This is the most dissected 8-2 team that you ever want to see. The Falcons face the Saints. Saints coming off the bye. Falcons, they're going to be starting. Oh my God, why don't
Kirk Cousins?
Because Penix is out for the season.
I'm taking the Saints with the win.
Wow, I'm taking the Saints as well. Isn't that crazy? The Bucks, they head to LA to take on the Rams.
Yeah, the Bucks coming off of a tough loss to Buffalo because they did keep up with Buffalo until about halfway through the fourth quarter. But they're going to take another loss to the Rams. Give me the Rams.
All right, I'm taking the Rams as well. We already call Jets Ravens. We're both taking a home team. And on Monday night, you have the Panthers. We're heading out to Santa Clara to take on the Niners.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers there.
I'll take the Niners as well. Sorry about that. Let me go over our picks. We're both taking the Bills over the Texans, Bears over the Steelers, Patriots over Bengals, Lions over Giants, Packers over Vikings, Seahawks over Titans. We split on Colts Chiefs. Calvin's taking the Colts. I'm taking the Chiefs. We split on Browns Raiders. Calvin's taking the Browns. I'm taking the Raiders. We split on Jags Cardinals. Calvin's taking the Cardinals. I'm taking the Jags. We both take Eagles over Cowboys, Saints over Falcons, Rams over Bucks, Ravens over Jets, and Niners over Panthers. Those are your picks. All right. A couple more things before we close out. The Orioles make a trade. The Orioles acquired outfielder Taylor Ward from the Los Angeles Angels in exchange for right-hander Grayson Rodriguez on Tuesday night. Which is an intriguing one-for-one swap that filled clear needs for both teams. The Orioles went into the off-season seeking a power-hitting outfielder and got one in Ward, who was entering his final season before free agency. And the Angels sought a top-of-the-rotation starter and hoped to get one in Rodriguez, a once promising prospect who spent 2025 season sidelined by injury, and he only pitched half of 2024 as well. What are some of your thoughts on this trade?
Your best ability is availability, and although we all believe Grayson is a top-notch pitcher, he hasn't been there for the Orioles, so you're not really losing much but potential here, but you are gaining a consistent batter. I believe that he's played want to say almost 150 games in each of the last 2 seasons. Last year, 30 something home runs, but he also had over 100 RBIs. And one of the things that we've noticed that our ball club wasn't doing was scoring. They were not getting these runs batted in. So I think this is a needed move. I probably, if I were in charge, I probably wouldn't have done it, but I understand you doing it, and then you just don't know, what's going to happen when Grayson takes the mound. Is he going to get re-injured again? Is he going to be the pitcher that we want him to be? And then you have a guy that you pretty much know what you're going to get from him, and we've needed that consistency in that right-hand hitter. So I think it's a good move. I know a lot of people hate it, but I think it's a good move. Probably, again, I wouldn't have made the move. Probably not the best move from the standpoint of what the Orioles need, which has always been starting pitching. But I think it's a solid move to fill in a hole or two that you have.
Yeah, I guess my problem with it is that we gave up a young player, although he has not been available. He's really only pitched one full season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like giving up a young player that's under control for the next 4 years for a 32-year-old player who is in his walk year, who only hits for power and strikes out a lot. That concerns me. We already have a player like that on the roster. His name is Tyler O'Neill. Now, the only difference between Taylor and Tyler is that Tyler is always injured. He didn't play hardly any last year.
Exactly.
Taylor Ward played 150 plus games the last 2 seasons. It does concern me. He only batted 228 last year, although he did drive in 103 runs. He hit 36 home runs. He strikes out a lot. It's feast or famine. And so what impact are those home runs and those RBIs going to have when half the time you're striking out or you're not getting on base? And so that concerns me that he's in the walk year. The Ravens don't like to spend money. He's 32 years
Orioles.
old. I'm sorry, the
Orioles.
Ravens. We've been talking so much football. The Orioles don't like to spend money. And this is a 32-year-old guy that's really only produced his last 2 seasons in terms of statistics as a player. And so, yeah, we're going to get a lot of play out of him. I think it puts Colton Cowser on notice. I don't even know why Colton Cowser's here. You know how I feel about Colton Cowser.
Yeah, I don't think he's on notice. I think it's already written there. Like it's already there.
Yeah, so to me, the choices that the Orioles have made in terms of the outfield has kind of not turned out to be very good. They kept Kjerstad. Kjerstad, he's on a milk carton. He disappeared at one point last season and never returned. He was having problems with his confidence. He never came back up. They traded Stowers. Although Rodgers produced last year, Trevor Rodgers, Stowers was an all-star for the Marlins. And so, I think some of these outfield choices have not panned out. I thought O'Neill it was a terrible signing. You didn't get, I think you got less than 50 games or 60 games out of him last year. You definitely didn't get the power that he had displayed when he was in Boston.
His debut was his first game was a home run. We were like, we got something here.
We're going somewhere. Trust Elias. Trust Mike. Like we say, trust EDC. Trust Mike. Trust Mike. The next day, Tyler O'Neill will be out for the next month. Like, okay. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a while before we can evaluate this because to me, all right, he comes in, he has a great year talking about Ward. Are we going to re-sign him? Is this just a 1-year transition? And yeah, I'm thinking if Rodriguez has been out these last couple years, he's probably going to be out again very soon. They say he's going to be available for spring training, but that don't mean he's going to start the season on the major league roster,
right?
Because he's been available. This has happened the last couple years where he's in spring training, something happens, and you don't get him until midpoint of the season, and then even then, he does not make it through an entire season. And so,
I think the Orioles are going to actually go after some pitches. I think
hope so.
Yeah, I think the plan is to go after some pitchers. They're talking about opening up the purse strings, and I think they're gonna go after some pitchers. So we'll see. We'll see
All
what
right.
happens.
All right. We're at the point in the show that everybody loves. Come on, yo. And so let's go ahead, Calvin. You start us off. Come on, yo.
Man, so look, I'm by no means am I a rich man. I didn't grow up rich. I have enough money nowadays to pay my bills and buy soda on pay week. Every other pay week, I can go out and go to 7-Eleven, and sometimes they'll have the twofers, and I can get me, two Gatorades or something for like $5. I have
Sure.
enough money to do that. So I hate to be the guy that says to a business, with the money that I spend here or the business that I bring you, just to get the basic customer service. I don't need any business kissing my ass. But to get the basic customer service, I should not have to remind you of how I support and patronize your business. And the bullshit is, it ain't even the young ones.
Mm.
It's the owners or the people our age that take the customers for granted or don't want to do what it requires for basic customer service. I'm not one that when I walk into your establishment, I don't need you to say hi to me. I don't care if you say hi to me. However, if I come up to you and I'm looking for something, I don't need to feel like I'm bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to feel like the phone call with your homeboy, your homegirl is more important than what I'm doing. I don't need to see a line of people and I'm next in line, but that's the moment you decide, oh, let me go put these back right now. No, get this line. Like, come on, yo. Basic customer service has gone away. And again, it ain't the young people. It's the people our age. It's the owners that are entitled. And we'll always say I hate supporting black businesses because of this, but it ain't always the black businesses. Sometimes it's the white businesses. But you know what it does have in common? People that are just rude and just ignorant. It should not be, I should not be calling a business or writing to a business or recognizing an employee because they gave me basic customer service.
Mm.
For somebody to say to me, oh, I'll hold that for you while you go look. And then when I look and come back, they'll be like, no, you don't have to wait. Come on. This is basic customer service. I shouldn't have to recognize someone for basic customer service. But nowadays you do. Come on, yo. We got to get better at that. I've said this for at least 20 years now. Any candidate that wants to run on a platform of customer service, you got my motherfucking vote. If you get up there and say, the first thing we're going to do is go to all of these retail stores and make sure that every employee has basic customer service, I'm voting for you. I don't give a fuck what you do after that. You can be in the Epstein, not quite in the Epstein files, but come on, yo. Basic customer service. Stop making me get ugly with you and saying shit like, yo, I bring y'all too much money. I spend too much. I hate to be that person.
Right.
I never want to be that person.
Yeah, I think after COVID, we've lost good customer service because the marketplace has changed a little bit. But I agree with you. When you're spending your hard-earned dollars at a place, you're expecting great service.
Just basic. I don't even need you to go above and beyond. Just basic
Mhm.
customer service. I think I told you about my Oreos experience one time. They got the little self-serve thing. I'm trying to get the guy looking at me like, oh yeah, you just gotta hurry up and do it. Hurry up. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
Come over here and be like, oh, this is what you do.
That's what you
It's
do.
basic customer service.
Right.
It
Yeah.
just anyway.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Come on, yo. It's too early to hear Christmas music. It's it's too early to see Christmas commercials. There should be a rule that you cannot run Christmas commercials for holiday sales and play Christmas music until after Thanksgiving. Good Friday is when you can go ahead and launch it. Not Good Friday, that's Easter. Black Friday
Black
is when you should be able to go ahead and launch it. They don't care no more, Calvin. I was in the store maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago and heard Christmas music over the PA system. Um, Over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've seen nothing but Christmas commercials from all your retailers, Target, Walmart, all of those things. They, the car, you always got the Christmas sales for the cars as well, end of the year sales. Like, man, it's normally we would not see those things until after Thanksgiving, but not this year. And so, come on, yo, let's just we know we're about to, spend some money. Some people are going to make decisions on paying a bill and keeping the light on and getting big mama her gift, or getting your child a gift. And you really should not feel that pressure in terms of commerce. I think the best gift you always can give is lights and gas and electric and food. Although they may not understand that, but tell them go outside and sleep, and maybe they will have a deeper appreciation for that. But yeah, let's come on. Let's just slow down. I mean, this has been a rough year in terms of people pocketbooks, government workers, people with their SNAP benefits, all of those things. And so Christmas always brings a little melancholy for me, because I think of people who may do more than their means. And so I think a lot of times we do more than our means because we see all this advertisement pressure to giving gifts make people happy. And, we should, not necessarily encourage people to make bad financial decisions for temporary happiness. And so, all right, come on, yo. Y'all killing me with these commercials.
What did first of all, we need to make Mariah Carey the official starter of Christmas. Did she say yet? Let's go, because she usually says not yet.
Yeah, she hasn't said it. Yeah, she hasn't said it yet.
We got to make her the official. Yeah. And also, until they play, it ain't Christmas. It ain't.
Right.
Until you hear some Temptations. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Until you hear that in my mind. Until you hear that.
You remember we had the Christmas verses. You remember that?
I remember the Christmas verses. We gotta start the verses back up.
Yeah, way back when.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We're gonna have to start doing some things to get the peoples back. We ain't done no TV shows, show review. By the way, have you watched All Her Fault? Have you watched that series yet?
I have not.
Peacock?
I've been watching The Chair Company on HBO.
The Chair Company. I haven't heard
of that.
Yeah,
it's a weird show.
Well, check out All Her Fault. It's on Peacock.
Okay.
I think it's a miniseries. I can't remember how many episodes, but we're about to start episode 5, and it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
I watched the Eddie Murphy Netflix documentary.
I haven't watched that yet. I saw it on there, so I need to check that out.
Very good.
Check that out. Hey man, we another successful and look, we done before we would normally log on. So we've been killing
it. We're being efficient for y'all.
Thank you all for joining us again. As I mentioned, we're live on YouTube right now. We're on all the podcast platforms. And as soon as I drop this, you'll be able to see our beautiful faces on Spotify. I'll probably drop it tomorrow, so you'll be able to see it tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, let me hit this outro on y'all. So, and you heard Garland. Don't be spending all your Christmas.
You have been listening to the B.I.G. show.
They don't appreciate your ass anyway.
Was produced and written
bad
by
customer
Calvin
service
Coates
they give
and Garland Thomas for All Things Black Productions.
You know what I mean?
Follow us on all of your
I would rather have
media
Amazon
platforms.
come and they only say nothing to me. They just drop the shit off and shit.
Right. Take a picture.
They won't need no customer service there.